Hello friend, my name is Doombabe, and today we are going to be talking about Love Stage, which is an 11-episode yaoi anime created by JC staff and released in 2014. It tells the story of Izumi Sena, a college student that wants to become a manga artist despite having no real talent in drawing, who is also the only person in his family that isn't incredibly famous in the entertainment industry. He was, however, a star in a commercial when he was a very young child, and when the creators decided to do a sort of 10-year sequel to the commercial, he is picked, of course, as one of the people to star in that commercial. This is where he meets Ryoma Ichijo, someone who has become incredibly famous as an actor by this point, and actually admits to him that he fell in love with Izumi when they met 10 years ago. Then a bunch of cute stuff happens, and it's a romance story, so. So maybe this was a super cliche opening for a rom-com, but there was something about it that just made me absolutely adore it. It perfectly represented the base plot, overall feel, and characters' personalities. It was fast-paced and cheery and colorful, and was paired with a peppy song called Lovest by Screen Mode. Seriously, if I still did ratings on my reviews, I would probably make this like a 9 or even a perfect 10. Because I liked it that much. I mean, every time the opening came on for each episode, I didn't skip through it like I normally do when I get like halfway through a series. I sat there and I watched it and I was like, the closing was almost as nice as the opening was. This wasn't as fast-paced as it was primarily composed of stills that were sometimes minimally animated, but it was still really cute. The song used, I think, was called Click Your Heart by Hani, and again, it was a very peppy, upbeat song. Again, I didn't skip the ending for this show because I really enjoyed it. Now, if you ask me, I honestly don't really see this as a yaoi. I see this more as like a shonen ai, because when I think of yaoi, I think of series like Seven, series with a lot of sex scenes, series with explicit sex scenes, whereas Love Stage was very lovey-dovey, it was very fluffy. I know this is an adaptation of a manga, which may be different. I didn't read the manga, so maybe that's why it got slapped with the yaoi genre. But like I said, this is really more shonen ai than anything else. Anyways, this is an adorable romance story. I will admit that the base plot is a little typical with, the family being all big and successful and famous, whereas the main characters wants to live a humble life of creativity. But I was very easily able to overlook that because of just how great the rest of the story was. I have to especially praise the writers for deviating away from the normal stereotypes of the bigger, taller, manly man being all, forceful and being all, oh, I love you and you're gonna love me eventually and blah, blah, blah. And then the smaller, the more, I guess, feminine one is being all, oh, no, I'm not gay. This isn't happening. I'm just a nuisance. And he just makes a whole bunch of excuses to drag on the series so they can squeeze out like 20 episodes of it. That has always really bugged the crap out of me. So seeing a story like Love Stage where the main love interest is like, hey, I'm in love with you, but let's just be friends. And then Izumi is all like, you know what? Let's start out as friends and we'll see where this takes us. And then later he says to himself, I really do like this guy, so I'm going to consult with my mentor / manager and I'm gonna get some advice on how to deal with this, because they acted like normal adults. I'm not joking, this was incredibly refreshing, and I feel like anyone else who watches a lot of shonen ai or yaoi can relate to this. There is also a very strong family presence in Love Stage, which again isn't all that common because a lot of yaoi stories, I guess, a lot of them they focus entirely on just the couple, and they sort of make it a point to hide it from their relatives. However, in Love Stage, we see a lot of Izumi's older brother, who is always kind of hanging around and, just being a typical doting big brother. And then, of course, we also see the family manager in the series as well, who sort of acts as Izumi's mentor. Love Stage is also very funny. There is a lot of lighthearted humor that keeps the air very bright, whether it be some silly penis joke, as Ryoma realizes that the girl he fell in love with 10 years ago is actually a boy, or whether it be some tongue-in-cheek self-deprecating joke being made when they use some sort of like trope or plot device. The second time I watched this though, I actually realized that Izumi doesn't actually he doesn't like achieve his dream of being a manga artist by the end of the series, which I thought was very interesting because it's not very often where you sort of see the main character fail at what they want to do. They always just magically get there, you know, through perseverance and hard work and stuff. So seeing Izumi actually go into the entertainment industry and not sulking about it like he actually enjoys himself, it was interesting and I thought that was worth pointing out. The art perfectly complemented the absolutely charming story. I'm sure I am the millionth person to start talking about the eyes, but Izumi's eyes are so beautiful and striking that I cannot possibly make a review without talking about his eyes. The eyes in general are very visually appealing, and I loved how they were designed with the sharp edges and the bright coloring, but Izumo's are just so pretty. I also really liked how the mouths were shaped, and that probably sounds kind of weird, but they had a very rounded design that weren't just the normal anime mouth. It was really cute. Everything was cute. Shit was kawaii as Like, I really tried to get my thoughts in order for this review. This was a really tough part of the script for me to write because I just wanted to gush about how adorable and bright and colorful and just wonderful everything is, and I just could not do that without sounding like a complete moron. But all I can say is that the visuals were fabulous. I absolutely adored the way that everyone had a sort of multi-toned ombre-looking hair. The character designs felt unique and the animation was very smooth and fluid. If there's anything I wasn't much of a fan of though, it was the way that the rest of the characters, the ones that weren't a part of the main cast, you know, just the extras, how they were sort of whited out. I know that it was just to remind us that they weren't important, and it did make the main character stand out, but it did seem just a little cheap. The censoring was also kind of strange. When it came to the fluffy sex scenes, they decided to have one character look normal while the other was just an outline with the same sparkly looking coloring as the background, which I didn't really get because from what we saw there wasn't anything actually to be censored out. It was cute and maybe it was done to emphasize on what like the normal colored character was experiencing, but it just felt unnecessary. So as you can probably imagine by this point, I absolutely 100% adored Love Stage. It's just so damn cute and it's happy, and while it isn't completely groundbreaking, I really have to give the credit where it's due with the writers for deviating away from a lot of the really unpleasant stereotypes. It's also beautifully colored with wonderful animation, even if I don't really agree with how they chose to censor everything and how they decided to deal with the extras in the background. I do have a lot of praise for the voice actors as well, who really went above and beyond to bring this script to life. Especially Tsubasa Yanagao, who voiced Izumi. I just really liked it. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Love Stage. Have you seen it? Am I blowing this completely out of proportion? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, you can find all of my social media as well as my Patreon in the description. Happy unbirthday, and I will see you later. Bye! I don't know what's happening here. Oh my god. There we go. Oh, no, it's back. What is happening? What is this? What is this? I'll just stand up tall. Can't see it.